So in the final part of this masterclass, I want to talk about how to actually track your numbers. So it's all well and good finding winning ads, stuff like that, but if you don't know your numbers and what really is a winning ad, then you'll probably turn it off or you won't be able to read the data properly. So in order to scale and keep the ad account profitable, you're going to need to know your break even ROAS, and this will be sort of your north star to when to increase budget on ads and when to turn off ads. So you can see a little summary. This is a calculator right here, but typically how you're going to work that out. So as a simple metric, it's the average order value of your product minus the cost of goods minus the fees, sort of the profit margin. So if I do that simply on a calculator right here, say your product is $100, so you do 100 minus your cost of goods, so it would be maybe 30. That equals 70, and then what you do is take this right here, 100, and then divide that $70. So your break even ROAS in that case, if that was your metrics, would be 1.42. That would be when you break even on Facebook ads. So you're going to definitely want to add some more on top of this. So typically I shoot for, for my clients anywhere between, 3, 4, 5x return on ad spend, because this covers profit margin, fees, and that type of thing. So, but generally this will be the lowest you can go. So if an ad runs up to that point, then you might want to cut it if it's going below there because it's unprofitable. Getting the columns set up correctly. As you can see here, if you go over here, columns under Harry. So what you want to do is customize your columns. So you can see the full funnel of how your ads are working. So what you want to do is, I'll show you right now. So the first one you want to start off with is amount spent. This is so you know how much you're spending per day. Good one to track. So second one is link clicks. Cost per click, or CPC as Facebook likes to call it. CPC, link clicks, add to carts, initiate, checkout, purchase, and on purchase you also want to put value and cost, and then ROAS. You also want to untick all of these, otherwise it will look weird and you won't be able to read the data properly. So untick all of these, and then sometimes I add click-through rate as well. Right, and then just name them as whatever you like. So guys, you can see how it said it was set up exactly the same before, but it gives you a full view of where the funnel is working or not working. So you can see how much the cost per click is. If this is too high, then it means that your ad creative isn't working as well as it should be. So anything sub like 50p is good, and anything over £1 is probably quite bad, but that does depend on your price point a lot of the time. So add to carts obviously show you how many people have gone to your website and added to cart. Now, the lower the cost per add to cart, the better. But again, it's not a huge metric that I track. It's just so I can see the funnel. Checkouts initiated, again, not a huge metric I track, but you can see like the add to carts to initiate checkouts. They all look good in this ad account. And then initiate checkouts to purchase. So this is a really good view because you can see the amount spent and the amount made back. And that's the main thing that we're going to track. Cost per purchase is basically how much it costs to acquire a customer. And then return on ad spend is, again, how much you spent, how much you made back. So the key metrics that you've got to track is return on ad spend and cost per purchase. That's the key two metrics I would track personally, because return on ad spend and cost per purchase is going to dictate how profitable your ads are and if they're profitable, it means you can scale them. So another metric I like to talk about is also click-through rate, because click-through rate is the amount of people click on your ads, and anything above like 1% is pretty good normally. Anything above 2% is great. So how do you know if you've got a winning ad? So let's say your break-even point, which you worked out earlier, is roughly like 2.7x return on ad spend. That's where you break even. Anything over that is profitable. So you can see here, let's say this brand's ad 2.7. You can see these ad sets right here, 3.5, 4.3, 3.3, 7. They're all profitable ad sets. That's why I've kept them on, because they're profitable for the company. Now, how do you know when to scale it and when to not? So firstly, return on ad spend being at your break-even point or cost per purchase. Secondly is consistent sales. Now, this is no good on a small data set like one sale at 30x ROAS. There's no point scaling that. It has to be consistent daily sales, even at a low budget. So typically what I look for is maybe 10, 15 sales within the ad set right here. So you can see this, for example, this one's got 6 purchases. Now, I wouldn't scale that quite yet. I would leave that until about 10 purchases, and then I'll start scaling it, because looking at the soft metrics, they look good. Return on ad spend looks good. Cost per purchase looks good. But I wouldn't scale it until I know it's getting consistent sales, because a lot of the time, if it doesn't, then you'll increase the budget and the return on ad spend will just drop off. So you've got to wait a bit longer.